All right. Good morning, everybody. Here we are, and we are live in Cape Town for a little bit of a first-time traveler expedition. Not so much a first-time traveler for Simphiwe and I, but for a whole lot of other people.
Mm-hmm.
You like our microphone?
Oh, yes, I love it.
All right. Just testing it sounds all right. Okay, so we got a hell of a show for you this morning. We got lots of cool people dropping in. We got some cool things happening. We're going to be chatting to Ben a little bit later on. We got some super bets and sport, and we'll tell you about what we're doing down here and why we've decided to bring you along, because you're with us, whether you like it or not. And producer James is on the job as well.
Hi, Jay.
We are hoping to have a beautiful. We're hoping to have a beautiful Cape Town sunrise just behind us in a little bit. Also, loads of interesting stuff to do if you are a fan of spectator sports. The best spectator sport of all is politics.
Oh, yes. I thought you said football. Wow. I was like, yo. But
have you seen what's been happening?
I saw last night just before I went to sleep. And I was like, So I don't know what the numbers are saying now.
All right, well, let me give you a quick rundown.
Okay.
I woke up like an election nerd, and I was like reloading and loading the page. I'm like, what's the latest? So
how many votes have been counted so
listen,
far?
I mean, you can mock me. You could say it's stupid, but I think there are a lot of people doing this because this is the next 5 years of our future, if not the next 15 years of our future, if we get it really wrong.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Okay.
So Simphiwe's grandmother will be pleased because the ANC is still in the lead as the biggest party in the country, but considerably down. About 50, just over half of the votes have been counted, okay?
Okay.
And the ANC are at 42.34%.
42?
That's a big drop. Last time, remember, they were 57.
Yeah. And even if you collected all the other votes, it was still not going to amount to what the ANC got the last time. So this...
Correct. So there's a big drop for them. This is embarrassing. There's no way they can, there are going to be a lot of Kedas who are not going to have...
Yeah, that Mkapa must fall. It's fine. It's fine.
There are a lot of Kedas who are going to suddenly be, moving back in with their parents.
It's fine, maybe they must get a taste of what we go through, and then they'll be like, yeah, we really want change.
Exactly. Okay. The second biggest party is the DA. Unsurprisingly,
have they gone up?
23.39 at this stage.
Okay.
Now remember, a lot could happen when most of the votes still have to be counted. So I'm not making provisos here, but we're not going to predict based on half the votes. Otherwise, a lot could happen. Okay. But the third biggest party is no longer the EFF.
Is it MK?
So there's an upset. Yeah. Izuba dubula. So that's happening, whether you were ready for it or not. So yeah, ANC 42.34%, DA 23.39%, which is up from what they were at in the last election, 2019, but not hugely. And then the big change is MK at 10.7%.
So they actually lived up to for now. The hype.
Yeah.
For the first time on social media.
But what you've got to understand is almost all their support's KZN.
Yeah.
And then there's Mpumalanga got a little bit. Gauteng did pretty well for them. They're not embarrassing, but Northwest, Free State, Western Cape, Northern Cape, Eastern Cape, MK doesn't feature really. I mean, they're there, but they're not important. EFF 9.62%.
They've gone down.
That would be a down for them. But again, let's just keep saying the caveat is that they are not yet. Oh, James, just sort out the camera for us, please. They are not yet all counted, right? So we're still looking at all of this shit. The fifth biggest party in the country is also a change. That's the PA.
Oh, Gayton
McKenzie. So he and the PA currently sitting on 2.8%, which is not bad. You have to open it up. Just take it off of there, and then you'll see you have to reset the whole thing. It's very irritating. It's because it's low on power, but we can always sort that out.
That's fine. As long as you can hear us. As long as you can hear us.
I don't know. Can you see us? No. No, give it to me. Let me sort the... Sorry, everybody. We have to let you in on the technical things. Yeah, well, disconnecting it from that's not such a great idea, Dad. So, yeah. Pass me
Okay.
the whole thing.
That's my baby.
And this is how we get reconnected. Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Sorry, guys. That's how we do it.
Oh,
It's
there
not,
we go.
It's not Leanne Manus, but what can we do?
Welcome
go.
back
Just
to my
put that back
YouTube
to
channel.
Put that back to where it belongs. Okay, so PA is now, and I know it's no politics Friday, but
This is
you
the
know,
biggest thing, guys.
yeah, I think this is what people are interested in.
Come on.
So, okay, what does this mean? I think it's too early to tell, but we've got the PA and then the IFP dropping down to 2.45% of the counted votes. So shame. Really, since Shembe, it's all gone to shit for them. And then the Vryheidsfront Plus at
How are they doing?
1.65%, which is down from where they were last time.
Okay.
Then Action SA, then ACDP, then UDM, then ATM, and only then Rise Bossa and some of the other shitty ones. So now you know.
Okay.
All right.
I will tell you, last night when just before I went to bed, someone put a screenshot of Oranje.
Oh, yeah.
And it seems like there was one person that voted for the EFF in Oranje.
Do you know who it was?
No.
Carl Niehaus. Guaranteed he snuck in. Someone sent me this picture last night just to prove the point, right?
Sure.
Yeah, Carl Niehaus.
So yeah, if you thought change is not happening in Oranje, if EFF can also just
well, I mean, one vote. So everyone said, relax, they found the Oranje imposter. There he is. See?
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, so that's the latest on the election. I don't know if anybody it's too early. Ricky's like, who do you think will go into coalitions? What about the ANC and DA? I would not be surprised DA will try taking over the country from within. You seem to have like this idea that those guys are on a power trip. I mean, we're in Cape Town right now. Simphiwe has been here before, but this place works, man.
Yeah.
You know what? There's a part of me that's like, let it work. Just let's feel what it's like to have a government in Gauteng that works. Wouldn't that be nice?
Joburg.
Yes.
Like Joburg. Imagine if Joburg CBD was all
Have you seen what the CBD looks like? It's disgusting. So Cape Town is the opposite in that respect. So if you guys are worried about the DA taking over, you should be so lucky because, frankly, things seem to work a little bit better under them. And I don't see like John Steenhuisen trying to become president. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be a very, very complicated few months. And no matter how these coalitions pan out,
yes,
they're going to have to sit and talk to each other, which means in the interim, no new laws, which is great.
That's all you want. And then they are forced by our constitution to do the basics, like service delivery,
just do the
fix
basics.
the road,
Yeah.
like by just
do the basics.
The basics. And that's all we need. We just need the basics done. South Africans can do the rest.
I'm very keen to see OHM get more votes. Nah, I don't think it's going to happen, hey? Even I spoke to Jack Motlanthe yesterday, and he said to me, he was going to vote OHM, remember?
Yeah.
And he said when he got into the booth, he was like, I don't think I can do this.
Actually, so many people had that. They had for example,
in a moment.
Yes, I'm going to vote for the PA. And then in that moment, they're like, I'm not too sure anymore. And then they voted for someone completely different.
Yeah.
So
No.
It happens.
I honestly made my decision in there.
Did you?
Despite all of the best intentions to like have a plan and everything else. It's weird how that happens. You go in and you're like, I don't know. Because you also, you get a lot of these people, and I'm one of them, who like second guesses yourself. You go, well, maybe I should split my vote. Like anyone gives a shit.
The only one
like you could see from this poll, like the splitting your vote, it makes no difference. You got to go with one of the four big parties. In this case, it's ANC, EFF, DA, MK. That's all you got, really. The rest is just nobody cares. Sorry.
Yeah, the only one that did catch me off guard was regional, because that was the first.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, let's just.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you who this election's embarrassing for, because none of the parties that I mentioned now should be embarrassed about anything. But if you are in Bossa or Rise or Good, you should be embarrassed. Or the UDM, frankly, because they just and even ACDP is not so great, eh?
Yeah.
Action SA did an okay showing. They're coming in as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th biggest party.
Not bad.
It's okay. Still top 10.
That's not
But
bad.
yeah, I mean, Gauteng. So we spoke about Gauteng earlier, right? So here's the latest figure on Gauteng. I mean, this is just, to me, all I want is a functioning government in Gauteng. That would make me happy, right? So if you look at Gauteng, they have got. No, I've just lost the page. This is stupid. It's still only a small proportion of the vote counted because obviously urban area.
Yes.
So it's difficult to get those. There are many more people, right? 46.48% counted in Gauteng. So far, 33.17 ANC.
Okay.
So if that's 33, it's only a third so far of the vote. The DA 29, so not far behind. EFF 12.7. MK 9.43. And then Action SA, not too disrespectable at 3.89%. Vryheidsfront after that, 2.7. And then the Patriotic Alliance at 2.04.
Not bad. Not bad.
I mean,
I'm not mad.
The reason I said those other parties should be embarrassed, in particular, the ones who had a lot of funding. So that would be like Rise. Yeah, correct. They had lots of money. We all discovered this,
yes,
right?
They did.
We discovered this in the last few moments of their campaign.
Yes.
When it all came out that they actually had lots of foreign money.
So I'm actually glad. I'm glad.
But at this stage, it still looks like Songeza Zibi will get into parliament if that's what he wanted to do.
Okay, at least some new faces.
Well,
some
yeah.
new voices.
I mean, it can't hurt. But what it is it's a, and I love saying this because this to me is a truly great thing. It is a big middle finger to like leftists who have thought for the longest time that they've got a constituency in this country. You really don't. South Africa is not a left-wing country, actually, as evidenced by how the EFF have plateaued, if not gone down, as evidenced by the fact that new left-wing parties like Rise are just not getting anywhere. So tough titties, guys. I wish I could say I feel bad for you, but I really don't.
Gareth, quick question. I know I asked you this yesterday, but now I think I'm going to ask it a bit differently. When it comes to the international, well, I'm going to say international votes for the ones that live abroad, right? When they count their votes, do they count it in terms of, well, I was registered in Cape Town, so it will go under Cape Town?
So they only get a national vote.
Okay.
They don't get a vote for any of the others.
Okay.
So you know how we had 3 papers? They only get 1.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Okay.
So in other words, there's no weighting that unfairly because otherwise they could deploy them in places and you can imagine there'd be skullduggery. But I do have to say, like, I promise you we'll move on from the elections. And for those people who are really interested, we had a great show yesterday with Pumi and Kanthan, and Bafana joined in and Jack joined in. And we talked about the incoming election results then and what it could mean. But obviously, in the next couple of days, you're going to get lots of coverage. I'm not going to compete with that. This is a Friday show. We want to have some fun. But before we go, 2 or 3 quick observations. First of all, I don't think the IEC were as prepared as we had hoped. I know that they had limited resources.
Wasn't their funding cut?
Their funding was cut.
And I think that played a huge role.
That is the government's fault. They should never have cut the funding. Very bad idea. And the second thing is that turnout is not as high as they thought. So it wasn't because like way more people pitched up.
Yeah.
And it's like our new 94. It wasn't that at all. So that was a bullshit campaign. And actually, turnout is down. It was at 67% or something last time. It's now, as they're measuring it at the moment, about halfway through the 50s, so 54, 55%.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's interesting. It's worth observing because what it means is even less people are interested now than were 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, especially the first-time voters. I spoke to a few of my friends. They were like in the queues for like 2. I can't relate, guys. So 2-4 hours.
No, because you went with your gran. By the way, if you didn't see it, I mentioned this yesterday, but Simphiwe did post a picture of her gran.
Oh.
And you did take her. And Simphiwe says to her, Granny, we're not voting ANC here. And she's like,
no.
Basically, you see this old lady's not taking any shit from you.
Oh, yeah. She even had her ANC dog. She was like, Amandla.
Regalia.
Amen. And then
Regalia.
she was a force to be reckoned with on the day. But hey, I allowed her to vote. I was like, this is your right. I'm not going to take it away from you. But yeah, so my experience was very different because it was an in and out. I was like, we could arrive anytime I'll be done in 5 minutes.
Fantastic. How nice for you. Some people were waiting 10 hours in the queue, hey?
Yeah. And then also, I know in some...
But you were going to say, like, the young people who just gave up and went home.
Yeah, and some people bought their... what's this? They driver's license.
Apparently, it was worse at universities. There were really, really long queues at universities. People were waiting from early in the morning, only finished late at night. The last polling station closed at 3 a.m., apparently.
Yeah, because they couldn't turn people away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, I don't know, did yours have the surname thing? Because ours didn't. We didn't do the...
Oh, it was such a mess.
They went
I wasn't there for the long queue, so I was lucky in that respect. But apparently, they divided people in half.
Yeah, according to your surname, so A to M.
To M, and then M to Z, and some of the queues were longer than others. And anyway, listen, I mean, if you did, all I want to say is well done. Congratulations. Thank you for giving a shit about the country. To those people who didn't even pitch, or those people who gave up in the queue, what can I say? You're not the kind of people I would necessarily trust a whole lot of stuff to.
Yeah.
Not saying that you're a terrible person.
No, you
I'm just saying if I had someone, if someone had to look after my house for me, or my dog, or my bank account, it wouldn't be you. Right?
I wouldn't trust you.
These are the people who give up too easily.
Yeah, and they're going to be the first ones to complain. Oh, this government of yours. It's because you didn't vote.
So a couple of comments here. Jeremy says, we need KZN in the Western Cape to start the divorce from South Africa ASAP. We need real change. So you want KZN to split off from South Africa? Because funnily enough, that there were like Zulu separatists, remember, who said that what they should do is just use the Ngonyama Trust as an excuse for self-determination. Remember the land?
Yeah. And when people chiefs mostly own land.
The king.
Well, yeah.
So if you're saying that, Jeremy, the Western Cape must split off. So you want an independent Western Cape, because I don't think that's even feasible. And those guys, by the way, didn't even make a showing at the polls. Yeah, so. For those in the Western Cape, we have lots of listeners in the Western Cape. Let's just give them a quick update.
Yeah.
Then you don't have to do it yourself. That's what we're here for, right?
Yes.
Try and make your life better. Okay, so in the Western Cape, we've got the DA at 52.61%, which means that they won't lose their governing status here. They won't have to go into coalition or anything else if that stays for the rest of the count, right? ANC only 19%. Very poor. PA 9.67%. Way lower than people thought it would be in Western Cape. I think a lot of people were hoping in the PA that they would do over 10%. They haven't. EFF 4.5%. And remember, they might still. But EFF 4.5%, very bad. The Cape is a terrible province for the EFF. They really just don't do well here. Then there's this party called the CCC.
Who are those people?
Angas. But did you see the party Citizens?
As well. Who are those people?
I only saw them.
Who are those?
After the election.
Because they also got votes. And I'm like, who ticked you?
There were 1,000 or something people.
Who ticked you?
Citizens. I was like, I should vote for you, but you can't spell. So, and then I looked them up. Okay, because there's a guy called Jan, a black guy called Jan something or another. He's Citizens, and the ZA is for South Africa. Okay. So it's not that he's illiterate. It's that he's trying to do a thing. For young professionals, apparently, that's what Citizens are.
He should have just partnered up.
But if anybody knows what the CCC is, I'll be very interested to hear what, because they did okay across the board. Like for a little party, they did all right.
Yeah.
Patricia de Lille, Al Jamaa even beat her. So Patricia, maybe she won't get into parliament again. It wouldn't be a bad thing. I've had enough of her.
Yeah.
MK very bad in this province, hey? Only 0.51%. So that's why somebody asked in the comments, why are you in Cape Town? Well, it's because otherwise Simphiwe would be in the MK army. That's why. Oh, man. Tabo says there are voting booths bigger than this. Listen, this is a huge, big room. Let me show you what we've got here. We've got a view of the canal behind us here, but I'm going to wait for the sun to come up because otherwise there's nothing for you to see. Anyway, now you can see a little bit of it. I went to the Carousel at opening, spent thousands at the Cheyenne Saloon, went there 3 times a week in the 90s. I don't know what you're talking about, but that's unbelievable. Okay. Sanele, who has changed his name and hasn't reverted back to anything yet, he's still Sanele Fuckbus, says, not as filthy as Joburg, Durban, but the Cape Town CBD is now dirty, G. My running routine goes past there sometimes, and there are plastic shacks everywhere. It smells so bad, I almost want to quit running forever. Listen, homeless people are a problem everywhere in the world. You ask the people of California about what's going on there, they will tell you that they've got major problems. But in the Cape, they've got a problem with these homeless guys, and they just set up wherever. And really, the police should be breaking these things down and saying to them, you cannot live here. This is not a place for people to live. You can't just set up your shack anywhere you want, and they should be chased out. I don't know what more to say. Oh, it's the Cape Coloured Congress, the CCC. Thank you, James. Okay, well, they did okay. They did all right in the Western Cape, especially. Well, I suppose you should look where the colours are.
Yeah, okay.
Very good. All those people who didn't vote or make any effort are shit and must be called out and should have no service delivery, says Yonda. Yes.
I mean, a few of them did cry in social media, and I feel sorry for one or two, but most of them did not feel sorry for. Because someone rocked up with their driver's license. Why? Like, why, babes? And then the other one didn't play a part in checking her where she was actually registered for. Like, she was registered for Centurion, but was based in Cape Town. I'm like, that's your fault. That's not the ISC.
Listen, I know people who also weren't, they went to the polling station and they were told, no, you're not registered here.
I mean, there was a lot of those where people like, I've checked before and it says I'm registered here. They went to that particular station and then there was issues. You see, those ones, I'm with you, like, let's fight. But the ones that didn't play their part to actually check, like, you are based in Cape Town now, but you didn't update it. Why do you think they were busy sending messages to say, guys, please check, please check, please check. Yeah. IDs. Yeah. You think it was just for vibes? I guess, son.
Well, there we go. That's enough politics for the morning. We've got lots of other stuff to talk about today. We're actually in Cape Town, and we'll tell you more about this after 7, because we are doing a trip for first-time travelers. So Simphiwe has had the job of, like, looking after people. James is busy filming a whole bunch of stuff, but we've brought, how many people is it? There's 14, it's like 12 brand new travel. These are people who've never been to Cape Town before, and some of them never been. In fact, all of them have never been in a plane. Yes. Never been in a plane. Never been in a hotel. So
it's all a first.
You should have heard the noises on the plane. I mean, there was nervous laughter. There was praying,
and there was someone thought she was gonna die.
So there was a lot of cool stuff going on. And we'll tell you all about that later on. It's good fun. All right, but Simphiwe wants to tell us about something else, which I know I'm going to find this annoying, but quiet vacationing.
The millennials have done it again.
That's the millennials. The millennials, they're going to go down as the most irritating generation. Gen Z already hate them. Gen X, who came before them, hate them. What have they done now?
I don't know if I'm going to hate them for this one.
You are them.
Yeah, not make sure. I know I look young, but I'm very old.
Are you like halfway?
I'm not a million.
1 foot in each.
I think I'm actually. But guys, I think this one. I think this is like, for the times that we're living in, I think this is great. So typically in most organizations, you work for like a few weeks, a few months, and then you can take some time off to go on holiday or do whatever you want to get up to, right?
Right.
That's been the normal standard. But now with this whole working from home and people work remotely, what millennials have now done. Also, you remember last week, I was telling you that here are some things we won't be able to afford, you know, as the middle class.
Thank you for that. I'm still depressed.
Yeah. So now millennials have figured out, well, if I'm not going to be able to afford to retire when I'm 65, might as well live my best life now. And I work remotely. So what they'll do is that, like, during the week, during work hours, you know, they will like fly to Cape Town, for example, and do all their work in Cape Town, and then, like, at the end of the day, enjoy the sceneries of Cape Town after work is done. So they're calling it quiet vacationing, where they're not officially taking time off, but during working hours, they'll fly somewhere.
So that you won't even know necessarily, because they'll say, I'm going to work from home or whatever. And you can make those arrangements now.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, they'll be
So perfect example, the show.
Now.
Yeah,
right.
now. And instead of rocking up to the office, they will be like in Cape Town, and I'm like, yeah, I'm doing the show, guys, getting my work done, everything's done. And they'll still, so the thing is, they still continue to do work. That's not what they're slacking on. All that's happening is afterwards, when they're done with work and they close their laptops, they start having a bit of fun. So I like this. I think this is nice.
I don't think that's a horrible idea.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's that weird because most people are already doing it.
Yes.
Whether they do it from home or they do it from somewhere else. I mean, I know some very, very cool, trendy people who do this on an overseas basis. You have to have money, obviously, like a lot of money. But imagine.
So how do you explain, like, if it's okay, but if wait, from here to overseas, or they're already based?
Oh no. So you could wake up on a Tuesday morning.
Okay.
And you could do the whole day's work on a Tuesday. And then that night fly from OR Tambo to London or to Paris or to Istanbul or Moscow or wherever. You could be there to start work at 6, 7, 8 o'clock, depending how quickly you can get everything together. Maybe a little bit later. So you say, I'll start late tomorrow. And then suddenly, voila, people are like, whoa, is that Moscow in the background? Can you imagine? That'd be very cool. Raven DC says, yeah, right. They're not working really. Yeah.
That's it's called quiet vacationing. Like.
Well, I suppose it's like a change of scenery. And it doesn't have to be expensive and insane. It can be cheap and doable. Right?
This why I love this one. I think, like, if you are able to work from home, do it, enjoy it, and you can afford to go out and just live your best life. I mean, life can get a lot. Like, adulting is a lot. So if you can just, like, do nice things to...
Well, Carl says these fuckers will put quiet in front of anything. Yeah, it's true. Oh, Willie, all in caps, saying, disappointed the elections. Living under the same government is like... if citizen understood the economy instead of politician talking, the economy is dying, drowning, collapsing slowly. This guy's having a complete melting.
It's okay.
Look at this, a meltdown on a Friday morning.
It's okay. Take a deep breath. Take a moment. Breathe in, breathe out.
So
it's going to be okay.
I don't know why we're still talking about this, because everybody has a different system now. There are a lot of companies that allow people to work from home. Some companies insist and have learned lessons that they actually can operate completely without an office. I know a media agency that they do all of their stuff from home. They do not have an office.
Yes.
But it requires check-ins every morning and people submitting timesheets and complicated things like that, which, if you're not accounting it properly, then people do slack off. The other problem is the ones who are back at the office, but they're starting to slack. Because you know what happens at the office. People sit around, they talk shit.
Yeah.
Like, how was your weekend? What did you get up to? What are you going to do tonight? Shall we go out for a drink? Oh, that's a nice dress. Blah, 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 blah. No, don't tell me that's more productive. I don't believe it just because you're in the same room.
Yeah. So what I've noticed is that with companies that do like maybe 3 days remote, 2 days office, people that come into the office find those days less productive because it's like, I haven't seen you, and they catch up. How the kids, what's going on? So it ends up being a catch-up session for everybody in the office rather than let's get work done. Whereas when they're at home and they know that they have no one to talk to, really, they do work. So you have to pick does everyone come in?
So I had to do a call yesterday while we were driving into Cape Town. I was on a meeting call and then came in to this room and sat and finished that, and everybody else was kind of getting settled in and having a drink and all that stuff. I didn't feel sorry for myself. I like being busy, and it's cool, and it was totally doable, and I was concentrating and taking notes and all of that stuff. So it all depends on how seriously you take things. That's all.
Yes.
If you're a serious person, you'll take things seriously. If you're not, you won't. Here's Natasha. She says, I have a friend that had to work on our Sun City holiday.
Ooh.
She had to be logged in from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. because it showed that she was online and her work was done.
Ooh.
And she did all her calls in the bathroom. Oh, that's terrible. With that echo. You know that bathroom echo?
Yeah.
Nice.
Hello. And it goes, oh,
no. And then people are like, what are you taking a shit?
No.
Like, no. All right. Look who's here. It's Ben. He's rubbing his eyes. Are you tired, Ben?
No, not really tired. I just have an itchy eye for some reason. I don't know. But hey, I'm good. It's Friday.
I woke up with an itchy eye yesterday, and it's still not all gone. So I don't know. Maybe there's a thing going around. Don't worry. You're not going to get me.
Just making sure.
So I see Cape Town's still late to starting the day, huh?
Listen, are you a big fan of ginger?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. I like Simphiwe was like, we have to have a ginger shot before the show today. So that's what we've got going on here.
Yeah, very good, huh? Bit of vitamin C straight up. Very good.
Very nice. All right, Ben. So let's get straight into it, shall we? We don't have any time to waste. Tell us a little bit about what's going on in the sport. This is Beyond the Scoreboard with Ben Karpinski. It's powered by Super Bets. What's happening this weekend?
All right, guys, we've got a great weekend this weekend because obviously this French Open's still going. We've got the URC, the final round of fixtures in the regulation play. We've got the Nedbank Cup, and then we've got UFC, Cricket T20 World Cup. Where do you want to start?
UFC. Let's turn it around.
UFC,
we usually put that at the end. Let's go with that at the beginning.
All right, so UFC 302. UFC 301 wasn't the biggest thing because it was all in Brazil. There weren't a huge amount of fights that were really like showstoppers. And same again for this card. It's not incredible, but we got two really amazing main event cards. So we've got Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier. Huge history between these two because Dustin Poirier fought Khabib Nurmagomedov. I think that was back in 2019. Islam, of course, was the protege to Khabib. And now their paths kind of do this. And Dustin gets another chance at fighting these impossible Russians who've been mauling little bears since they were toddlers. And unfortunately for Dustin, he's had a great run of late, even though he was knocked out in the BMF title fight with Justin Gaethje. But Islam is just too good. He's a big lightweight. This will be for the lightweight championship. He's a big lightweight. He's been training in some sort of Russian death camp out in the hills for the last sort of 6 weeks. And Dustin, he's like one of those crowd favorites. He's a huge striker, really, really great fighter. But Islam's going to beat him. And he's going to beat him in the first round, unfortunately. And then Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa. Now, Sean Strickland was the guy that obviously fought Dricus. And Dricus beat him for the title. He's a fantastic boxer. He just spars every single day, all day. Doesn't do any other exercise. And he's fighting against Paulo Costa. If you look at it, you think he's on steroids. But he's one of those guys from Brazil who's just naturally hugely strong. A really great fighter, but I think he's not there in the corp, really. Like he's just, I don't know, like if Herschel Gibbs was a MMA fighter, it'd probably be like Paulo Costa. Like there's lots of talent there and, likable, all these kind of things, but he gets the top level. Just don't have all the sort of things. So as we saw with Strickland against Dricus, he's happy just to sit in the pocket and pick you off. And eventually he's going to land a couple of shots, whereas Costa is all power game. So I would say Strickland's going to be far too precise for this. And that's kind of UFC 302. You've got two major fights there. So wake up at like 6:30 just to kind of ease into that. You don't have to get into it too quickly. Let's get into the tennis. As you know, French Open, all eyes were on Rafa this week. We saw all those Instagram posts. And Rafa Nadal was, beaten,
you mean AI Instagram posts?
Yeah.
Well,
no.
Yeah,
I think you got the wrong Rafa, but yeah, I hear you.
It's
okay, Ben. Doesn't matter. Don't worry. Most people who were retweeting and posting all eyes on Rafa thought it was about Rafa Nadal as well. Obviously.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Rafa Nadal. Obviously, he's like. Rafa Nadal's like the king of the clay, right? That's why. So he's been pulling his underwear out of his ass since the late 90s, I think, on that court.
That's
and
right.
He's the most prolific guy to ever play the French Open. So he came out and he was beaten in the first round by Zverev, unfortunately. So he's gone. Not gone, of course. He'll be around. And he's contemplating retirement. He's not sure. He's not going to play Wimbledon because grass wasn't his best thing. He had one Wimbledon title. But he's not going to do that. He wants to go to the Olympics. So that was the first blip on the French Open. And from there, the men's have been pretty good. Most of the seeds have pretty much all gone through. Of course, Novak Djokovic, even at his ripe old age of 38, 39, he's still top seed. So he's through. And then Yannick Sinner, the really skinny ginger Italian on the bottom of the sort of pool there, he's the second seed. He's through. So yeah, you can watch those guys in action. Pretty smooth sailing for all the seeds. In the women's, who are always way more unpredictable. I mean, you can look at the seeds and then just look away because anything can happen when those girls get on the court. So lots of them have tumbled, but I mean, all your favorites are still there. Iga Swiatek, the top seed, she's there. Coco Gauff, she's there. Ons Jabeur, she's through to the third round. And then Arina Sabalenka, the 6 foot tall 26-year-old from Minsk, Belarus, she's still there. So that's the French Open for you to look forward to this weekend. In the rugby, this is where it gets a lot more intricate. So the URC is like, obviously, you know, the big thing throughout the rugby season. They play, 15 teams, I think it is, whatever it is. We're now in the final round of regulation play. So what you want to do is you want to finish in the top 4 ideally, because then you get a home quarterfinal. You ideally want to finish top of the top, because as the better your seed is, the better chance you have of a home semi and a home final. So obviously now Munster, they're top of the log. They've got 63 points. All they need to do this weekend is just win. No bonus points, no funny business, just win. And if they do that and they win all the way through, then they get to play at home the whole way through, which gives them a fantastic chance of defending their title. The Bulls are currently 61 points. So if they get a bonus point win this weekend against the Sharks, they could potentially leapfrog Munster if Munster do fuck out. And then we've got Leinster on 60 and Glasgow on 60. So those are your top 4. Now, the top 4 are settled. No one can get into the inner sanctum of the home quarters. Where it finishes is obviously the only thing that needs to be done. From there, we've got Stormers, Ulster, Edinburgh, Benetton, and Lions. Those are your playoff potentials. Now, the Lions, they've done pretty well just to kind of get back to a position where it's in their own fate. They just have to beat the Stormers in the weekend, and they will get through. They are heavily underdogs to do so, though. And then probably the most interesting game for like the neutrals is watching Edinburgh versus Benetton. So they're currently 7th and 8th right now on the log. Now, either one of those teams, again, they just need a win to get through. But a loss there would mean one of them doesn't get in. Ulster are going to go through. The Stormers are going to go through. But again, you want to finish in a higher seed. So if you finish 8th, you're going to take on the best team. If you finish 4th, then you're going to take on the 4th best team. Maybe that'll be a slightly better thing for you. So just to run you through those weekend fixtures tonight, Leinster will take on Connacht. I mean, yes, there's a mathematical chance of Connacht getting in, but not really. That's tonight at 8:35. Glasgow versus Zebra, 8:35. Stormers versus Lions tomorrow at 1:45. Now, this is obviously huge, and the Lions are going to be away. Heavily underdogs, as I said, but, you know, the Lions are so exciting to watch because they do throw it around, they do score tries. Benetton versus Edinburgh at 2. That's a really big game. And then the Sharks versus the Bulls. I really hope the Sharks feels like a third-string team. This is no time for Euros. In Durban.
Okay.
So Bulls need 5 points. Sharks do the right thing. Although after last week, you know, it's great that they won that title. They should just relax, chill. Play the Currie Cup team, get them going. Munster versus Ulster, 6:15, and then Cardiff versus Ospreys again. Cardiff, I mean, the Ospreys have a very slight mathematical chance, but let's not worry about that. So, more rugby as well. We've got the Spanish Sevens. Now, I know Sevens isn't really huge anymore in SA because the Blitzboks have been so toilet. And it's hard to really get behind a team unless they are winning because we have so many other things in sport to watch. There's so many other people who are winning that need our attention. But the Madrid Sevens will be taking place if you do like the Sevens. In football, Champions League final. Who's interested?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, well, look, Real Madrid's going to win.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just going to say it.
We had a whole lot of people on Monday morning thanking you for your picks from last week because you managed to make a lot of people some money with your excellent ideas. Oh,
that's nice. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, look, I see Real Madrid winning. I just think that this year they've been so dominant in La Liga. You know, it's like one of those teams that were so good for so long and then they had a bit of a blip. But those teams don't blip for a long time, you know. Like Man United have blipped for the last 15 years. Like they just have gone away. But with Real Madrid, I think you know what you're getting there. So I would back them. And then locally, of course, it's Pirates versus Sundowns. That'll be at 3:00, and that's being played out in Nelspruit, I think. So what a time to be in Nelspruit.
That one?
Yeah.
In one of those great stadiums that we never use. It gets used. Hooray. Yeah, so Pirates versus Sundowns. Again, Sundowns lost last week. This must have been so frustrating for them. They dominated everybody in the PSL, unbeaten. They've won the trophy, everything. And then the final game, when afterwards they pick up the trophy, they lost. They lost that final game. So they'll be pretty pissed off because obviously they didn't win in CAF Champions League. So Nedbank Cup final, Pirates, good luck, but I just can't see Sundowns not winning this one. And then if you really do like the big football, it's coming at you thick and fast from June 14th. We've got the Euros. So that's basically the World Cup, but only for European teams. And the first game there, 14th of June, Germany versus Scotland. But let's wrap it up with the Cricket T20 World Cup. Wow, I feel like this is a very long report today. There's so much on the go here. So the Cricket T20 World Cup, and then there's the ODI Cricket World Cup. So if you don't know a lot about cricket, you think, shit, these guys have a lot of World Cups, and you would be right. So this T20 World Cup, it just comes out of the blue because there's like IPL, all these other things, and suddenly, oh yeah, T20 World Cup. So it'll be taking place in the Western Hemisphere, so America, West Indies. So the game times are going to be, well, some of them will be like 2 a.m. But thankfully, there's also like a 4:00 game, which is also being popularized by these people because obviously they know their markets. Either way, when you're in Australia, no one cares, and you're going to be watching cricket in a very strange time. So there's 20 teams. This is what you need to know. There's 20 teams and there's 4 groups. Okay, so 5 teams and 4 groups equals 20, and it's like a real mixed batch. I mean, we've got Papua New Guinea in the mix here. Oman are playing. Your geography is going to be put to the test. Nepal are in the mix. So from there, it goes into the Super 8s, where the best teams play, and then basically you'll have the top 2 from all the groups, and then the top 2 from all the groups going to the Super 8s, and then we have the top 2 of those going to the semis and the final. So it starts on June the 2nd, so it'll be starting on Sunday, and then we've got the USA versus Canada kicking off, West Indies versus Papua New Guinea kicking off from there on Sunday. And then on Monday, South Africa will play the first game versus Sri Lanka. Do we have a chance? Yes, of course we have a chance because we have good players. Are they going to do it? I mean, cut and paste any other preview you've ever had at a World Cup where we say, yeah, but. So, yeah, but. All right, that's pretty much it, actually. That's the slogan for any Proteas World Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, but. Yeah, it's also the slogan for the election.
Yeah, but exactly. That's one of those things. So asterisk, yes, Proteas had some players in the IPL that did pretty well. Some of them got through the final. And look, India, of course, are going to be the favorites. They feel like they've got enough firepower to do this, and they will probably be right. But then again, we'll talk about that as it progresses because basically it's going to go on until, June 29th is the final. So let's make some calls. Let's wrap it up with some calls here. So the URC, as I spoke about, a whole glut of fixtures there. I reckon we go on a nice multiplier where we do pick the Warriors, Glasgow Warriors. They're obviously going to beat Zebedee. Leinster are going to win. I would back the Stormers over the Lions. The one thing where I'd go with a bit of a turn up here is Edinburgh away to Benetton. I reckon Edinburgh are going to do this. So I'm saying back all these teams, no margins, just straight up. Warriors, Leinster, Stormers, Edinburgh, Bulls, and Munster. If you put those all together, you're going to get 3.25. 3.25 on the odds, which means your 100 rand down will get you 425 back, roughly speaking. Of course, when you bet with super bets, you also get bonuses and little pot extras. So if you do play with them quite a lot, you put 100 down, suddenly there's like a sneaky 20 that gets into the mix if you win. So there's always little value adds there. So that would be my first take, the URC multiplier. Then for the UFC, I would say, go with the UFC at Islam versus Strickland. Am I still here?
Yeah. We're still on. We just got a camera issue. Don't worry.
Just lost you.
We're not on. You are.
Yeah. So I would go with a little URC multiplier as well. So simple Islam and Strickland. I reckon they're going to win. You're not going to get the most amount of money back. You'll get probably 100 down, 160 back. And then I would say bet on Sundowns, but all you'll get odds-wise is just to double your money. So those are the 3 things that I would most likely go for this weekend. And then you've got rugby to watch the whole weekend, UFC Sunday morning, Nedbank Cup Saturday afternoon. Really, it's just a fantastic weekend of sports. And for Formula One, they'll be back next week in Canada.
All right. Okay, lots to think about. Hang on
so
second.
Much.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, I'm just trying to sort out these goddamn cameras, Ben, but we're all good. And we are live in Cape Town, if you're wondering what the hell's going on. Ben is in Johannesburg, and he will be joining us again next week. But we've got some good numbers to look at there and some interesting bets to place. And once we've got that, then we make some money come Monday. You should actually listen on Monday to hear people either rubbishing you for giving them bad tips or telling you thank you very much
We should
for
place
helping.
a bet on Ben.
Yeah.
Like if he's going to get it right or wrong this week.
I reckon we should just have the Ben odds. We should talk to Super Bets and you just buy a bracket, and then you'll become the most hated or the most loved man in South Africa very quickly.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, that's really fine. And to add a bit of spice to my Monday, Monday's the admin day for me. So yeah, I'll do it. So
listen, by the way, you did go and vote, and then someone accosted Ben and started interviewing him about his vote.
I will.
Well, it wasn't so much accosting. You know, like you get those news networks, they want to be on the scene, really where the news is happening. And they chose my voting station. So, I vote VIP. I vote at the Sandton City Library. So it's fountains. You're on Sandton City Square. There's Madiba. I mean, it's a VIP voting experience. It's generally less people because it's not the most. I mean, you're in the middle of the Sandton CBD, so a lot of people vote elsewhere. Of course, like every other voting station, everything went offline. So they had one piece of paper to try and log everyone's details. And this woman, I mean, true professional, she was all made up. She was there in the cold, crack of dawn. And she wanted to get some insights. Of course, she goes asking people about, do you want to be on camera? They're like, no, I'm not very good on camera. No shit. And this woman, she couldn't find anyone to talk. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Of course. I'm bored. I'm standing in this line. It's taking forever. And but it's like if you ask me a question on this show, I'll be myself. I can't help it. But I mean, this woman is just doing her job. She's trying to. I think it was CNBC or something. So she's trying to get content that can live on that thing. So now I've got to try and be serious and diplomatic. And then I come across this weird.
So what did you say? What did she ask you?
She said something about what are the sort of policies you're voting for? And I just very honestly said that we need free markets. Communism and socialism is stupid because you just run out of people's money, and we need to attract money and give people jobs and let people, fulfill their potential as South Africans, not fucking focus on handouts. I didn't swear, but I mean, like for me, voting that would have been great
simple. if you'd said no fucking handouts and they actually had to edit it out.
But I just think that voting is so simple. It's just so. I mean, you look at the sort of people voting and the numbers coming back now, and it just confirms how people are retarded in this country. But it's just so simple. We need to have a free market where we can all live our best lives. Imagine how fucking horrible it is if I need the government to give me 300 rand. Like, no, you need the government to give you the opportunity to make 3,000 rand.
Listen, your answer was perfect. I think she lucked out by finding you. She's not going to get a straightforward answer like that from anybody else. They're all going to dodge the question, duck and dive. They're going to try their best not to be particular, not going to admit what they're voting for, because people want to keep it all mysterious. They think it makes them interesting. It really doesn't. It's a vote. I read this awesome thing that Sia Kolisi's wife, Rachel, shared about how voting isn't like marriage. Voting is like public transport. You're never going to get a bus or a car or an Uber that's going to take you exactly to the front door of the place you're going to. So you choose the next closest thing. That's all. It's not forever. You're not going to marry this person. You're not going to fall in love with every Uber driver, right? That makes sense. I think that was the smartest thing I saw on social media.
That's a really good point. And your political party is also not your football club. You're not in for life. And if they're shit, they're shit. Like the thing about a football club is that half of the thing is about going through the sorrow because eventually they beat someone 2-1. But political party, no, because they need to do other things. Football clubs just entertain. But then again, I think for a lot of people, they vote ANC because it's entertaining. Like that's all they think that they're allowed to do. But,
or it's just what they do. It's like a religion, For a lot of people, politics is religion. And religion is the most important thing to them. So they just go with what they've always gone with. You can't go up to Catholic who's been going to mass every week for, 50 years and expect them to suddenly give up on church. It's the same thing with politics. And some people have the attitude of religion when they go to the polling station, and that's okay. But I don't know whether I want those people in charge of anything. Let me just wrap up the sport, because we've given you quite enough tips there, and that is, of course, with Super Bets. And to tell you more, you can go along and check out their website. Very, very cool place to go and place a couple of those bets that Ben has kind of given us the inside track on. Superbet supports responsible gambling. Strictly no under 18s. Winners know when to stop. The South African Responsible Gambling Foundation's toll-free counseling hotline, 0800 006 008. Very good. ANC voters are... I just want to read this quickly. Bitcoin Bot says, ANC voters are retarded, load-shedding tender lovers. Well, okay, but like, just because you vote ANC doesn't mean you're going to get a tender.
And my grandmother never got a tender.
And what are you calling Simphiwe's grandmother? She'll come and she'll take you down, man.
No, Simphiwe, did you not lock her up? Simphiwe, I thought you were going to lock her up. Like, you spoke about that.
She tried.
I tried.
She tried.
That
old lady is feisty.
You had 2 jobs. Lock her up and then go vote. That's all you had to do.
Yeah,
no, but let me say this, that my grandmother is very stubborn and very vocal. So she knows her rights. And she would have been screaming in that house when I'm in that line for 4 hours. And also, number 2, I got to enjoy the perks of not waiting in line. So I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah. Look, guys, I mean, it's a reality, right? We all know the ANC are going to get the most votes. All going to go down to the coalition. But unfortunately, people should stop bitching. Again, I don't want to get angry about this.
No, and it's Friday. We don't have to be upset about it. But the important thing is it does look at this stage like they might not get their 50%, which means they've got to cozy up to some other parties. And there are a lot of different people in the mix this time around. So there might be some very interesting alliances. It may just end up working to our benefit. Listen, if government works, awesome. And if they work really well and they're effective, great, then things will improve, service delivery and all the rest. If they can't get their shit together, then we don't have a government. Then we're no worse off than we were yesterday. And we have to make a plan on our own.
Yes.
Which some people prefer to having government sort out their problems, because sometimes government's the worst solution. Right?
Exactly. Right. The important thing is the sun does rise on a Friday. We get to talk as friends. I mean, that's just, there's the plus. There's the win.
And it looks like the sun rises earlier in Joburg than it does in Cape Town by the looks of things.
Well, of course, we're further east. If people were smart in this place, we'd have different time zones.
There we go. Thank you, Ben. Very good. Ben helping us out with a little science on a Friday morning. All right.
Nonchalant about it.
All right, Ben. Have a happy weekend. We'll catch up with you next week.
All right, guys. All the best. Ciao. Bye.
Excellent. Someone's asking, what happened to you hiding your grand's ID?
No, I have her ID. It was the fact that she knew when voting day is. So that was the issue. The whole plan was to not tell her. Then I'm like, Gran, I'll be back. I'm going to work. 4-hour queue. Come back. I'm back. Hey. And then she was just like, Mdase, we are voting today.
Oh. That old feisty old lady, she's not going to take no for an answer.
So
I would have felt, okay, so dead serious. If you had actually locked your grandmother away, I mean, that would be deeply disrespectful.
Yes.
She would have been furious with you. Yeah. Family issues would have risen. And by the way, like, an old person takes their vote a lot more seriously than a young person does. So I think you would have had big problems to deal with.
Oh, yes. And the fact that she already knows, she did not do any research. Unlike me, like for months, I've been reading manifestos. And
if you think about it, like,
sure.
If she voted ANC and you didn't, then at least you cancelled her vote out.
Yes, and I knew that. That I knew. I was like, I know who you vote. I know who the enemy is in this house.
So Simphiwe did the right thing by at least countering her grand's vote.
Yes.
Then we're all good.
Yeah.
And she did. She told me she voted, but I'm not going to say it. You don't have to. But she didn't vote MK, in case you're wondering.
No, I didn't.
And she didn't vote DA, in case you're wondering. And she didn't vote ANC, in case you're wondering. Or EFF.
So maybe Freedom Front Plus, eh?
Vryheidsfront Plus. You don't know Simphiwe. She's a dark horse. Strange things have happened.
And 1% in Orania. It wasn't me.
That's where she's actually registered. Simphiwe drove all the way to Ranya and voted EFF. Oh my God. All right. I'll give you some updates a little later on as we get going. And they're around 51% of the vote counted. So
awesome.
Just by the way, I mean, at this point in every election, people get super excited. They're like, these are the final numbers. They're not. And there's always a lot of urban votes that come in right at the end because they're bigger voting stations. More people need to count, check, and then certify. And then, they don't destroy those ballot papers for a while. Hey?
Yeah.
They actually go to a big storeroom. And if there's any skullduggery around a particular voting district, they can open the boxes again, count them again from scratch. And all the political party agents are there because there was a lot of, I've never understood this, but people always like to spread misinformation around. They like to, there's a group of people, you remember the aunties during COVID?
Yes.
Who were busy putting out like, you must do this, you must avoid that, you must go here. It was all nonsense. There's some people who love drama.
Too much.
And they are like sending videos around of open ballot boxes and strange things going on. And most of it, the IEC has been very good at dismantling and proving was mostly made up.
Yeah.
Or that they explain what happens, where the video came from.
Yes.
And then people understand. They're like, America has way more problems with their election than we do. And by the way, Donald Trump was convicted. He hasn't been sentenced yet in the New York court in the Stormy Daniels case, which is going to lead to all kinds of shit. So we're not going to get into that this morning either, but you need to know. So at least you've got some handle on the news. Was that a sneeze?
Yes.
It wasn't you spitting at Donald Trump.
No, the timing was perfect, but that was a sneeze. That was a sneeze.
All right. There are a lot of comments here. I bet Sims is based. I bet she voted for Action SA, says Matthew.
Do I look like Action SA?
The ANC are about to lose the Northern Cape. That's interesting. Patrick says they outright 49.1% with 99.8% counted. Yeah, so the Northern Cape, again, there are only 20 people who live in the Northern Cape. And so that vote was counted like 3 minutes after the election closed. But the ANC don't have, it looks like, they don't have 50% there.
Hey,
so they're going to have coalitions there as well. Second biggest party in the Northern Cape is the DA. Third biggest party, I think, is the PA.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that.
No,
like,
and if you have these very narrowly won contests, it's like in a family when half the family wants to do something, the other half wants to do something else. You have to compromise, and it's good. That's never a bad thing.
They need to explain themselves. Why they need this money?
Fight.
You see, this is the nice thing. Like when they're like, "Oh, we need 200 million to build a road," then somebody else can be like, "Why 200 million? Who's it gonna go to?"
Right.
And then they have to do things correctly. That's what we want. That's it.
100% correct. All right, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have a whole lot more for you. We've got some first-time travelers we want to introduce you to. If you've been in a plane more than 5 times in your life, you can start getting a bit jaded. If you've been in a plane more than 20 times in your life, you're definitely jaded. You forget the excitement. You're like, this is miraculous. We're about to take off into the air. It's a wild thing. And for those of us who are used to traveling, we've kind of forgotten how special that feels. And then staying in a really nice hotel. I mean, you're going to see just now when the sun comes up, we've got this amazing view of Cape Town behind us too. There are boats. There's the harbor. We've got this little canal behind us. Everybody's going on a red bus tour today because these people haven't seen Cape Town before.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very exciting for them. We went out for dinner last night, which was lovely. So we're just giving people a taste of something. And of course, we ran this competition with the Shady Podcast. 2 winners. One of them, our own Mapelo, who's often in the comments section.
Yes.
Mapelo couldn't wait to get to bed last night. He was tired and he'd had a few drinks.
Yeah, he was a very happy man. Enjoying his time here.
We'll find out from him just now. Marco says Cape Town rocks. I know Marco lives down here too. Well done. All right, everybody. We'll see you in a moment. Don't go anywhere. It's 7:00.
This week on the Auto Trader podcast.
Okay. But now, I can see from here, like you've got like these big wheel arches.
Yeah.
You've got like a new front grille, some bumpers, skid plate, etc. that's happening there. But underneath all of this like strong appearance, did they actually change anything mechanically from a standard RS?
Catch us every Monday at 9 a.m. on YouTube and on autotrader.co.za.
All right, good morning. And if you're just joining us now, you've just woken up. Happy Friday. It's the weekend, baby. And I hope you are ready for a good weekend. It's also the end of May.
Oh.
Yeah, we're into June, which is now hardcore winter.
Oh.
And I felt it the other night. When was it? Tuesday night, the night before the election. I was like, okay, it's definitely here. So I've waited all this time. I haven't had a heater on.
Ooh,
I haven't had electric blankets or any of that nonsense. So now I think I'm ready. I think I'm allowed. But we better hope for electricity, right? It's day number 1 after the election, everybody. Day number 2, and we still have some electricity.
It's because the votes are still being counted.
Touch wood. Yeah. The votes when that IEC number comes in, 100%.
55 minutes
game
notification.
Over. Game over.
16.
By the way, I managed to get most of my thumb thing off.
Why are you that guy?
No,
Why?
because I kept thinking I had dirty hands.
Oh.
I kept thinking it looked like I had a spot on my hand.
So you were like, gotta go.
Please, man, you know I've got the OCD and all of that. Yeah, I was like scrubbing. Somebody in the comments earlier said that the guy with the pen at their voting station was like coloring in his whole thumb.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
we don't do that. I was like, just put one streak, please. This thing must come off like ASAP.
It's so ugly. And sometimes they do. They're like, let me give a little bit longer here.
Yeah, but also there was no guys quality. There's some people that went like they did one streak up, and then there's others that did across. Like, what's going on, guys? Can we have unity? ASC unity. It's either we're all going like this or we're all going like this. Please, unity.
Okay, Mix is very, very powerful and able to resist the cold. Says, I brought in the blanket for my bed. I'm not using heaters at all. Hot water bottles, all I need. Fair enough.
You're a better human than I am.
Yeah, okay. Good for you, Migs. I respect that. You know what? Heaters are very bad for you. Also, though, we don't have electricity to spare, so probably a good idea. If you're brave enough to make it through the whole winter without any of that stuff, and I'm not saying just because you're poor, by choice, then I'm very impressed with you. All right. Silentificent says the traffic lights were not working close to where the voting booth is yesterday, so it's already starting. IEC, and the results are Eskom Stage 6.
In 55 minutes.
Crazy. You do have to be impressed, though, and we will leave the elections alone. It is the first show since the election, so we have to talk about it, and I think a lot of people are interested in it.
Yes.
You do have to say it's quite impressive that we get our votes done within 2-3 days. I reckon by tomorrow we should have a very clear picture of what's going on.
Yes.
And you look at, again, I have to use the US as the example. Sometimes some of those places are like a week or two, and
it's a mess. No, it's
really,
a mess.
I mean,
no, it's the best way to describe it. It's a mess. You see there, I can understand why people think there's rigging, there's like something going on, shigi just taking place.
Dodgy.
It's a mess.
It's dodgy, man.
Like, why are you taking 3 weeks just to tell us who's the president?
Okay, to change the subject slightly, you're going to love this. So remember we were talking about Shein and Teemu and all of that stuff. So I placed an order on, my brother told me about these lights that he found on Teemu.
Okay.
Because he collects a whole bunch of shit. So he's got these display cabinets. He's got these lights.
Okay.
They're cheap as chips, 170 Rand. And it like stays lit for a long time. You can recharge it.
Okay.
And he said he ordered and they arrived and he loves them. So I said to him, all right, I'll go on to this Teemu thing. And you go in there, it is, again, this is not an ad. They're not paying us. They know what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
You find something you like, even if you just look at it, not adding it to wish lists or any of that stuff, you get 10 new things that they suggest that you should look at.
Which is similar.
And you look at them and you're like, ooh, that looks nice. And you look at the price, you go, ooh, that looks nice. Before you know it, you get like 2,000 Rand in your basket. And you're like,
and then they also give you like a discount thing, which makes you want to buy more because you're like, if I get this discount, then I'm not going to pay.
Whoever's running that operation is a genius. They're a marketing genius. And if it's a machine that's doing it, if it's AI, respect to you, because I placed an order.
Okay.
I'm going to now report back once the order arrives. If it arrives, I'll report back. Yeah, and let you know whether it's legit.
And number 2, if you got what you actually ordered. Because a lot of the time I've seen on social media, people have done the what I ordered or what I got.
Yeah. Like Wish.
Very different. Very, very different.
Absolutely. So. Sleeping with a warm water bottle is gay, according to Bitcoin Butt.
Oh.
He says the thing is cold more than half of the night.
But aren't you like fast asleep by then, so it doesn't matter?
Yeah, what do you do with it? Do you kick it off the bed then or throw it out? I
don't know. I don't do that. So
hot water bottle people, you've got to tell us what your trick is.
Yes, please.
My wife has spent thousands with Teemu. Here we go. I hate it. The quality is trashy and slave labor. I hope they get banned in the States for undermining our postage system. All right. Let me try first. On Teemu,
hectic,
I've had 3 orders, says Grant. All come. You don't have to pay. You have to pay the customs thing, though. Don't be afraid.
Okay.
Okay, well, Grant, there's a good bit of feedback and some bad feedback. Christian and Grant. Hugh says, if only Teemu sellers were subsidized by the Chinese Communist Party, could get some serious bargains then. Well, they might be, for all you know, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, quick thing from Simphiwe. She put us in the doldrums last week because she told us depressing information about what we won't be able to afford in 5 years' time, which I think most of us were like, oh, God, don't need to hear that. The good news is the Reserve Bank kept interest rates where they were yesterday. So for those of you doing those calculations, wondering if you're going to be able to afford what you've already got, it's not great. I mean, it would be nice if the interest rates came down for those of us who owe more than we have, but that's probably good news for most South Africans.
Yes.
So there we are. That's your first bit of good news. Your second bit of good news is that Sims has been looking at what people are doing on TikTok, and apparently they're helping pay off debts.
Yes.
How?
So
How does TikTok help people pay off
For
debt?
the first time, I think you're going to love social media.
First thing is don't spend on Tim. That place will steal your money. I'll tell you
Wow.
what.
Okay, cool. So you're going to love this because it's on social media. Number 2, you don't have to spend any money at all.
Okay.
Right.
Tell me more.
So TikTok has like a creator program. I don't know if South Africans can be part of it, but international people are part of the TikTok Creator Fund, right? And for every view that you get like some sort of money.
Okay. Almost like with YouTube.
Yes, very similar to YouTube.
Yeah.
So what people have done is calculated how many views they need in order to pay off their debt. So now people be like, hi, I'm Simphiwe. I need 30 million views on this video. Just watch it for 5 more seconds. And by doing so, I'll earn 30,000, which will pay off my debt. And then people watch it. And by doing that, you are helping someone make some money to pay off their debt.
And it doesn't cost you anything because all you have to do is go and watch their video
for 5 seconds.
Where they're basically begging.
Yes, for 5 seconds.
So is this the equivalent to nice people who drive their car and they see a beggar on the side of the road and they give them R2 or R5?
Yes.
That's the equivalent of it, except this doesn't cost you R2 or R5.
So you're on social media, it's on TikTok, you watch the video, you don't even need to donate any money. After watching it, keep on going. And there have been 1 or 2 that have said, hey guys, thank you so much. That video got 30 million views. And this is what they say I'll get. I'll be paying off my debt. And I think that is beautiful.
Like it.
So if you can help, if you see those videos, give it a like,
that's nice.
Watch it, and then keep on scrolling with your life.
You don't have to go to any trouble. It's not going to take a lot of your time. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
But they are just beggars. No, even Azalea says they're e-beggars. That's what let's call them what they are. They're e-beggars.
They're asking for help. I don't think it's okay to tell people that they're beggars when they're just saying, hi guys, please help me. Help me.
Hey, Congo Chris says, welcome to the best city in the country, Gareth and Simphiwe. Where are we doing sundowners?
I'll send location after the show.
Maybe we'll have to meet you. We're going to meet you. All right. I want to get Tracy in here from TTS. You come and sit in the middle here, Tracy.
Yes.
So Tracy is the one who came up with this idea. Now, I mean, it doesn't even matter what come closer. You got to get in close here. All right. It doesn't even matter what the job description is or what your actual job is at TTS. Yes. You do all their events and you're in charge of a whole bunch of stuff there. But what I love is that this woman over here came up with an idea because you're in the travel business. And like any business, there are a whole lot of people in the business who've never done the things.
100%. Yeah.
And Tracy had this idea last year, I remember talking to you, about creating an opportunity for the people who work at the business to get to travel. And some of them have never. Some of them work in the coffee shop downstairs. Some of them are drivers. These are not the people who can just, I need to go to Cape Town. I'm going to splurge and buy a ticket and stay in the hotel. But you guys are in the hospitality industry, you're in the travel industry. And it's so cool that you've created an opportunity for them to go and see Cape Town, which is what we're here for today. And not just your people, but we also gave away 2 trips to people who listen to the Shady podcast. And we got those videos from them. Mapelo, who's well known in the comments section, and Lebo, who also won. And the 2 of them are here as well. I mean, you said you were worried you were going to cry.
Yeah,
because you love this stuff.
It was close. I mean, when the guys came through security,
yes,
I literally my eyes just welled up. I was just like, one of the ladies got sort of patted down, and she was panicking, and I just looked at this and I thought, I take that for granted. They irritate me when I go through security and you have to take your laptop out and all this shit that we deal with.
Here's my phone.
And this lady in particular, Leta, who's our receptionist from the office, she proudly stood there and spread her arms and they patted her down, and it was just it really does. It really makes me very, very emotional. It does, because we take it for granted. And
we do, and we get so I walked into the airport and I'm like, airports. Because I don't like them. But then if you think back to that first trip you ever did when you're in your 20s, I mean, my first international trip, I was already 22 or something.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But I mean, that's young, but in some cases it's not so young. My little nephews, I mean, I look at their lives and they get to travel all over the place. And I thought, I had to wait an extra 15 years before I got to their, trips. And on that first trip, you didn't care if it was economy or business class. You didn't care what the meal was. You didn't care how long you had to wait in a queue. Boarding gate was exciting. It wasn't like, these people are taking so long. Take out the laptop, put this in there. And I think a lot of us just get very spoiled, jaded. And we think, oh, this is irritating, when everybody else is like, this is super exciting. I wonder how many people in those queues that you stand in at the airport are doing it for the first time, because you can hear it on the plane.
Yeah, we definitely heard it on the plane. I mean, Zonke, who's a barista at our coffee shop, she was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna die! I want to go back to Joburg, and I'm gonna get onto a bus rather."
Simphiwe was sitting next to somebody who was praying.
Yeah, she literally had like, as we're lifting off.
Look, it's a beautiful thing, and that's honestly why I love being in travel, because you get to do amazing things. It changes your life, and for me, giving somebody else that opportunity is a beautiful thing. It's.
So Matthew says, does Tracy's assistant need an assistant?
Because there's somebody else that wants to be my
absolutely, because then you can occasionally get a trip to Cape Town. I mean, listen, this doesn't happen in a lot of companies.
No, it doesn't, but it should. Look, obviously Tourvest is a tourism business, which I don't want to go into. Everybody knows who we are and what we do, but it's something that we're going to do on a quarterly basis, is take some of our guys. Because the sad reality is Tourvest has, call it, 4,500 staff. A lot of those guys in our own business haven't actually traveled.
Well, I mean, out of 4,000 people, they're going to be people from all walks of life, and you're going to have different kinds of jobs. So you have people who are traveling every week, and you have people who've never been in a plane.
100%.
And the other nice thing is the hotel. So we're staying at the Harbour Bridge Hotel here, and you can see that magnificent view.
Finally,
look at that. We've got all those cranes in the background working. Cape Town's one of the few working harbors in the country, so let's give credit where it's due. We've got this magnificent canal. The guys are going on a tour later. We had dinner last night at one of the restaurant. I heard that restaurant, Key 4, in the waterfront, I heard that they drink more beer there than at any other venue in the country.
Yes.
So everybody who goes there, and listen, we saw some specimens last night. Everybody who goes there, you guys have won the title, I think, for the most beer consumption in South Africa. So that's impressive.
We've got 3 at the waterfront alone, 3 restaurants.
What are the other 2?
So we've got Mitchell's and Ferryman's, and any Cape Townian will know Mitchell's and Ferryman's. And they're all in the top in terms of the SA Brewery supporters. So
there we go.
Yeah,
and just by the way, another interesting thing about Tourvest and the group of companies is that they also own a lot of the shops in the airports.
Tiger's Eye.
Somebody here says Tiger's Eye curio shops. Those are also Tourvest. It's a huge business
out of Africa. There's so much, and it's a beautiful business to be in. Really,
that's very cool. I think it's so nice that we can do this, and that we can show everybody a good time, and they've got these beautiful hotel rooms, and they get to travel around and have a lovely experience of Cape Town. All right, Trace, thank you. Very cool. That's Tracy van der Berg, who is with Tourvest TTS, and we're doing this first-time traveler situation. So Mapelo, you're on. Come here. He made it through the night.
Yeah, I'm so
We were a little bit worried about you. So is it true, first of all, that you had a little sleep after supper last night at the table? Or were you just putting your head in your hand?
Not at all.
Because Simphiwe's got
Are you sure about that? Are you denying this in front of the people?
Whatever you have, it's been manipulated.
It's been doctored by the politicians. All right, so Mapelo actually flew in. The rest of us flew from Johannesburg, but he flew in from Durban yesterday. Yeah. And you are going to now, you're in MK territory now. You know that.
Why are you reminding me?
Move closer here.
Why are you reminding me?
Yeah, because
I'm in Cape Town now. Okay, that's okay.
So he started singing in the car on the way to dinner last night. He started singing Jacob Zuma songs. So he's getting ready. Right, there we go. So you're ready for it?
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen.
All right, so Mapelo, your first trip ever in a plane?
Yeah.
And you had a window seat?
I had to.
Okay, so did you upgrade yourself to
I
it?
had to.
Okay, so
I
you
was like,
paid.
no, I paid. Yes.
You paid in $50 so you could have the window seat, and you took some video and you took some
Nice
pictures.
videos. Oh,
First time you ever been? Were you a little bit nervous?
No, I was very excited.
Excited.
Yeah, very excited. I just during takeoff, I just had to like swallow.
Yeah, that's that feeling where it's sort of.
I had to swallow for the pressure.
Oh right,
In my
okay, your
ears,
ears
yeah.
popped.
Yeah.
Okay, and otherwise everything went fine on the flight.
Very smooth.
And when you landed here, was Cape Town as nice as you thought it would be, or
The airport is too big. You have to walk.
have to walk a long way? Yeah.
And I'm used to that. So
But they make you go, especially with the rental cars. You literally do all your steps.
Yeah,
in
you're
one
10,000 steps, guys. You're
straight up.
You're
a day I do 19,000 steps. So I don't mind.
19.
You do on a normal day. You do
Yeah,
19,000
yeah.
steps. So you're used to walking.
I'm used to walking.
Okay, and then what do you think of the hotel?
The Wi-Fi is very fast.
Oh
For
right.
starters.
Okay, very good.
The shots were good. Welcome
Yeah,
drinks.
and how those beds? The beds are nice. huh?
Oh, very comfortable. Yeah, I had a very good sleep. Yeah.
Yeah,
See?
you woke up, hey?
Yeah, it's you see, after a heavy night, I'm very fresh. So
I like
yeah,
it.
Thanks to the beds.
All right.
Very
So
comfortable.
Sanela says you look 12, but your voice sounds like 30.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not
That's
sure
a
what part.
compliment.
Yeah, I don't know what part of it is a compliment, though. Frankly,
The 12th part, I like that. I'll take that as a compliment.
So how old are you?
I'm 24.
Oh.
24.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
All right. I tell people what you do.
Okay, I'm a dog walker.
He walks dogs. No,
That's why I do
nothing
19,000
wrong with that.
steps.
That's why he's so fit.
Yeah, that's why I do 19,000
Okay,
steps.
and you live in Musgrave in
Yes,
Durban.
yes, I
So there are a
do.
whole lot of are there old people who ask you to walk their dogs, or is it every kind?
Every kind.
Really?
People in their 30s,
Uh-huh.
their 60s.
Why aren't they walking their dogs?
They don't have time. They
Busy.
have.
Are some of them too fat?
They are very
Get it.
busy.
Get it? That's what I know.
I don't think I have any fat client actually because I
Oh.
would decline. I was like, I can't.
Oh, really? You
Yes,
don't like
no,
them, huh? Mm.
I'm like,
So you've got the same issue with them that I have.
Yeah,
Okay,
maybe.
I understand. You don't
money
have to
is
explain.
money, guys. Like, stop discriminating.
Mapello, don't be shy. All your drinks are on Garrett's tab tonight. Well, actually, last night, I mean, you and Lebo had a few drinks,
Yo.
but we weren't worried that you were drunk. But
Now they had
You-
a good night.
he couldn't wait to go to sleep last night.
Yo, I accurate.
That's the truth.
They were happy.
Okay, but you don't like tequila. It's not your.
Tequila is. I don't know why you drink that. I don't know why
Neither-
anyone
ni-
drinks
you know what?
that.
Neither do I. That's the honest truth. I don't either.
I had wine. Wine was good.
You
It's
had
very smooth.
A few
So,
glasses.
The big key here is not to mix the wine
Yes.
tequila. If you
But I
stick
was
to
fine. I handled it. You know.
No, you did have it looked like a little sleep.
Simphiwe, I blame you. Whatever you have on
She's
you.
got a photograph.
I
I said nothing. I just said shame the devil. Tell the truth.
Bitcoin Boot wants to know, Mapello, do they ask for your ID when you want to buy booze? Because you look so young.
Yeah, I have people in high places, so
Oh, okay.
no,
All right.
really high places.
What kinds of dogs are you mostly? Are they big ones or are they little dogs?
There is, this.
Because if people are scared of dogs, she wouldn't do this.
I would
That's
never.
like the worst job for her in the world.
I have a German Shepherd that I walk.
A German Shepherd.
Yeah,
Those are
that scares people away.
yeah.
Yeah.
And are they always like a little bit confused when they see you with this big German Shepherd?
Who people?
Yeah, in the street.
Everyone like
They get out of your way.
get out of my way. I have my phone like this, in Japan you can't do that, but I
Yeah.
have my phone.
Oh yeah, because you don't have to worry.
No, I don't worry.
No
I
one's
don't
gonna
like,
come
I'll
up.
let the other hand loose.
All right.
And then
yeah, go on.
I'm saying there's also one called the other dogs called there's a Labrador. There are
Okay.
Huskies.
Oh wow.
There are the ones with big ears that sweep the streets when they walk.
Like
Bassets,
Bassets.
yes,
Oh yeah,
Bassets,
yeah.
yes.
They're long and they've got the droopy eyes. Okay, those ones. I
Yes.
got it. Why do I feel like he's a good fit for the show? Says Rachel. Well, it's because he's in the comment section all the time.
All the time.
Mapello's very good at commenting. In fact, somebody says here he is a busy man in the comment section. You are. You usually. We were missing you this morning. Did you sleep in a little bit?
No, I watched the start of the show.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. Grant says, I once had to stop my car to help a dog walker. These dogs that are strangers to each other turned on each other. The poor guy didn't know what to do.
Lazo.
Have you ever walked beagles? Says Naked Goose.
No.
Okay. Do you ever shit on people's grass and then blame the dog?
No, never do that. How? I always carry those pool bags. Yeah, I know. So even if I did something, I'll use the same pool bag.
Did you just say how? That's very Durban, hey? That's very
I
good.
don't know why.
All right. So how did your election day go? Because you voted as well.
I went in the morning at around 10. It was the election station was very full, so I had to start.
How long did you wait?
I didn't wait at first. I just left, and then I came back later around 3, and then I waited about 40 minutes.
Oh, okay, that's not so bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And everybody was worried about KZN. They all said there'd be violence, but there wasn't.
I guess because the MK is happy, people were worried about them. Whatever. I don't know why. I don't know why people are so worried.
Listen,
I was not worried.
how's Durban looking, though? Be honest.
It's a shithole. It is.
Wow. Okay, well.
Honestly, even in the suburbs, like Musgrave, say in Musgrave, you just see poo flowing on the streets.
It's disgusting.
It's
Apparently, there was one voting station in Durban where there was actually like sewage going past the people and they were throwing up and all kinds of things.
Yeah, people, the municipality workers come and fix something like a best
Fix
pipe.
something, yeah.
Best pipe, and then they'll leave a hole for the next 5 months. A hole on the road with just a tape around. I'm like, you just ruined things.
Do you think it's going to get
anything.
better now after these results?
Who's going to make anything better then?
I will see with the MK now.
But you know, I have to say one thing about MK being in charge. That is democracy in practice.
Of course it is.
You know?
Yeah, so this is what people want.
Yeah, people took
and
a step.
Just because there are going to be some people who don't want that, like all the people who wanted to blame Jacob Zuma for everything, even though Cyril was sitting there the whole time when all that stuff was going on. All those people are going to be very upset. They're going to be, like, how could this happen? But this is the will of the people. And if the will of the people in KZN is to have MK, then good luck to them. I hope it works out.
You know, they just fired the ANC, which is good. I guess
they did fire the
which
that's
means
a good
they
point,
can also fire the MK. Someone, you know, I like this because ANC being in charge all the time is like, why am I even voting? Some people are like, why?
Yeah,
There's no difference.
Let's try something new, right?
Yeah, and now you can see voting actually works.
All right, so far, what do you think of Cape Town?
The air feels different. It's a bit cold. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, it's chilly here. It's not as warm as Durban, but Durban people always, first thing they complain about is how cold it is.
Yeah, it's cold here,
But it's nice.
and it's very beautiful. I took very nice photos already.
Yeah, look at this, by the way. Looks pretty damn good, right?
Yeah.
If you're joining us on the YouTube channel, you'll be able to see.
Oh.
There's some really good views here. Oh, that's nice, James. Show off some more. Very
show and
good.
tell.
Very good. I like this. All right, Mapelo, very nice to have you here. And thank you for coming with us. I'm delighted that you won this because you've been working hard in the comments section. So
well, finally, it has paid.
Nice.
It paid.
Finally paid off. We got you a free trip to Cape Town. All right, man.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
There's
so much.
Mapelo, and now you know what he looks like from the comments section. And trust me, we're going to get the rest of you in here at some point. Also, all the OGs of the comments
In
section.
the words of Boiti, Gilibata one by one.
One by
I
one.
went to one by one.
Exactly.
There we
Exactly.
go.
Mandy says voting actually works. The people get what the people want. Yeah, even if some disagree and are uptight about things. Bitcoin Bot says, I'm surprised Chris Papas isn't trending in KZN with the Zulus. Well, just by speaking Zulu doesn't mean they're going to trust you with their vote necessarily. And also, you got to remember that his own particular ward where he's mayor, we don't know exactly what those results are. That's in the municipal elections. But provincially, it's breaking down pretty much how people expected, but MK doing very, very well.
Yeah, but I think he's running for premier.
Yeah, he's running for
Yeah, so
premier. Though. That's
let's see how that goes.
All right, so let's bring our other winner in here quickly, Lebo, and we'll find out how she's enjoying her trip so far. This is very cool, by the way. It's like a special extended version of the window seat this morning. How are you, Lebo?
Morning, everyone. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. Look how this suits you. Actually, we should look at the background and everything. You look like you should be a TV presenter.
Right? The
Yeah,
view
look
is
at you.
exquisite.
Smart as can be. This is terrific. Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Lebo. I work for a bank.
Good.
I work in marketing.
Mhm.
So I do a lot of talking, quite similar to you guys.
Yeah, you were talking a lot at supper last.
Oh my goodness. I
You
was
know the password
hammered.
to your phone now.
In my defense.
Don't worry, we don't have any embarrassing video or photo of you like with Mapelo falling asleep at the table.
Oh my goodness. I ended up I was with the band, just dancing my life away.
Yeah, there was some live music at the place. It was very, very cool.
It was beautiful.
So honestly, your first trip,
It was.
first time ever in a plane?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Mhm.
And how did you find that?
It was scary.
Uh-huh.
But this one, I love this girl so much.
Tell me.
I love you, Simphiwe. She put some comedic relief. She literally put out her phone and started laughing at everyone. Everyone's reaction, because the guy that was sitting next to her was scared out of his mind. So I laughed at that. Immediately, I felt better. So thanks for that. Yeah, but it was scary.
All right. But were you worried when we took off, when we landed, or did that go away quickly?
The taking off was, it got me. It's
Because there was a little bit of wind, blew
Yeah.
us a little bit, and I could see 2 or 3 people getting just a little bit antsy. There was
Yeah.
someone was holding onto their chair.
Yeah.
Simphiwe told me, and their knuckles were white.
You
from
don't know
like-
where to hold on to.
Yeah,
You don't know where to go.
absolutely. Okay, but the flight was good,
Yeah,
and
it
then we
was.
landed here, and you've got to see a little bit of Cape Town. Today, you'll get to see most of it.
Yes.
But even just driving in, weather hasn't been spectacular. Today looks like it'll be a much better day. But I mean, even with a little bit of cloud and rain, it's a very pretty place, right?
Yes, it
You
is
can understand
indeed.
why people all over the world want to be here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna move here if I ever get an opportunity to.
Semigration.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
All right. And the hotel, the bed,
Oh
nice, huh?
my goodness. No words. I am literally, I want to stay. I may not even go back. You guys,
We'll have
Yeah.
to drag her out of the room, kicking and
absolutely
screaming.
100%.
All right. Well, I just think it's so cool that you get to experience all of this stuff for the first time, because so many of us are traveling for work, and
Yeah.
people just go, oh well, it's another night out of town.
Right.
It's, and
Yeah.
I think it's quite exciting for you that you get to do this. Food, drink, everybody looking after you.
Exceptional.
10 out of
It's
10.
10 out of 10.
I'm
100%.
delighted. Excellent.
And thank you guys for putting this
Sure.
together.
Well, you can thank Tracy and the
Yes.
guys from Turvest.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
travel.co.za, everybody. If you want to book your own trip, you can go and have a look at that. That's where it's all happening. And remember when we had Achi on a little while ago?
Yes.
And he went through all those specials for international travel. You must see the prices there. They're the best that you will find, and some
Yeah.
very cool destinations. And you can decide how much you want to spend. If you've got any money at all, there'll be something for you. Go and take a look at travel.co.za. So Azalea says here, and you guys can agree or disagree,
Yeah.
Cape Town International, that's the airport, is amazing. Don't go to the other side of the mountain. What do you mean? What are you talking about? You guys just started your own political party. Vote GCS. No, we are not. We are not getting involved in that mess.
No.
That's one thing we're not going to
like
do.
our manifestos will be all over the place, you
Yeah,
know. 'Cause I'm
exactly.
like, I want to travel all the time. Guys will be like, let's make money.
Uh,
There will be like free drinks.
Hey.
Justice, Justice says, "Wow, guys, Gareth, when was this competition? I'm missing out. Simphiwe, I thought me and you were cool. Also from the East Rand, Benoni. Justice is unhappy with you.
No, I got you. Okay, as I said, one by one, guys. One by one. Like, come on. Got you.
Just by the way, so Congo Chris says, my favorite thing to tell first-time flyers
Yeah.
once we're in the air is that most accidents happen when you land. That really makes them nervous.
Oh, that's very comforting, Congo, Craig.
I love that. Hugh says, at least you clarified you work in marketing because bankers are not allowed on here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, for sure.
And we won't mention which bank,
No, I
because
won't.
then all the people who are with that bank and love it
Mhm.
will want to talk to you, and all the ones who hate it will want to talk to you, and everybody else will just ignore you.
I don't know anything about banking, guys.
That's okay. You don't have to feel bad about it at all. Okay. It's a Cape Town joke, a tale of two cities. I know, but Cape Town is new to Lebo here, so we should give her a chance to acclimatize. What you'll learn about Cape Town is they're different areas, and it's all very kind of, everybody does their own thing.
Okay.
They pretend they're one city, but they're not. Sorry, Cape Town, that's the truth.
Well, I look forward to finding that out.
Bit of side eye from us for Cape Town here today. Okay, but have you seen the mountain? Have you seen the sea?
I saw the Devil's Peak. I saw Table Mountain.
Good.
It's I look forward to the tour.
Is there anything
busing.
you really wanted to do that especially?
Okay, so my best friend, whom I haven't seen in like 3 years, moved to Cape Town. And so I texted her and told her that I'm here. So I look forward to actually just seeing my best friend.
Oh, that's very special.
Whom I haven't seen.
So where, is she coming here? Or?
She's going to be coming here. I mean, I don't know where to go.
Yeah. I was going to say, here are the keys, but we'll never see you again.
Right?
Yeah. All right. Well, that's very, very cool. When did she come down here?
2020.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you haven't seen her since then?
I have not.
That's nice.
Video calls.
That's very
WhatsApp
cool. You get to
calls,
see
yeah.
her, spend some time.
I
Well, look
look
at this.
forward
This
to
view
it.
is beautiful. And Lebo, I'm glad you're here. I'm
Thank
very
you
happy
so
that
much,
you are
guys.
getting to experience this for the first time. It's lovely.
It is
This
indeed. It is
excellent.
indeed.
Very, very good. It is insane that people don't visit Cape Town more often, says Christiane. Well, it depends. Not everybody can.
Right?
Right? Exactly. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll catch up with you and go and have some breakfast and
I
relax.
will.
Very, very nice.
Darling.
It's Friday morning. That's cool. Okay, make them trot down the mountain. It only takes 10 to 15 minutes. So the funny thing is, I was talking to Tracy about this on the plane on the way down, and she was saying she's never been up Table Mountain.
Oh, really?
A lot of people haven't, even Cape Townians who haven't.
But you see, there's a first time for everything.
Absolutely.
Like you take certain things for granted. Like I've been to Cape Town, but there's parts of Cape Town
There's so
you
much.
haven't tried.
There's so much to do. And by the way, this is not even just an ad for Cape Town, because we have also discussed Durban in much less decent ways, thanks to Mapelo. What did he call it? A shithole.
Shithole. He was being honest. He was like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
He's allowed. He's allowed. He lives there. The people who live in a place, it's like, for example, if you're in the family, you can be mean about the family.
Yeah, but
if you're
nobody
outside
else,
the family,
don't say nothing.
No,
This
exactly.
is Durban is the best place, please.
Seamus says the best decision I ever made was moving to Cape Town. So there we go.
Okay.
Cable car during the day, sundown is at Cafe Caprice. Let's go, says Congo Chris. Clearly he's a local. The great white sharks have returned. 7 have been spotted off Seal Island, 5 meters long.
What does that mean?
That big.
Like, what does
Those
that
are
actually
big
mean?
ass sharks, longer than this table.
Yeah, but when they say they've returned, I know that they're closer to the inshore, I think.
No, they're at Seal Island, which is just off the
Oh,
out in the harbor here,
okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
and they eat those seals. That's why they're there. They're not there to be friends. That's all you need to know. All right, somebody says here, don't go swimming. Wins. That's probably good advice. It's cold. Although people in this place, they like to do those cold plunges. I was talking to someone about this just the other day. How like you get different people going to different places for their cold plunge first thing in the morning. Just 1 or 2 quick things in the news. I thought this was quite interesting. Sony Music is in talks to buy the entire music catalog of the rock band Queen, including hits like Bohemian Rhapsody, Radio Gaga, and another one bites the dust. Guess how much it's going to cost them?
This is gonna set them back a couple of billies. This
Only 1 billion.
only.
Only.
Queen.
Only.
No, like guys, okay. I know this
$1 billion.
way before my time.
$1 billion. That's all.
Come on, the impact that they've had on music.
Sure, Freddie Mercury, all of that stuff. Oh, it's big.
Only one.
1 billion.
I would have negotiated for more. I would have said 4 at least. But okay, let's.
Wen says to go back to the sharks. An elderly lady went swimming in Fishhook once, and all they found was her swimming cap. Elderly lady. I don't think that shark was prepared for biltong. Watch out, Helen Ziller. I'm just going to go swim in Fishhook. I know better than that. There were 2 orcas spotted 15 kilometers out of Knysna. Hunting
That's it.
porpoises. Yo. Those things are that. Now that's a scary thing. Orca.
Yo. Okay, it's getting dangerous, eh? In the waters. Yeah, see.
Yeah, very elderly lady. She wasn't a good swimmer then. So you try and outswim a shark.
Nah,
Want to
don't
see
do
that
that.
happen. All right, bring these ladies here. Let's say hello. One at a time. Let's go.
I was gonna give up my seat.
No. You stay there. It's all good. Okay, just a couple of other comments on Cape Town. This is interesting. Sanele says, I'll hike up from Cliff Neck while Gareth and his Joburg tourists take the cable car. I'll meet everyone at the top for coffee. Sounds like a plan. You fitness freak. Make us feel bad. Do you want to go up Table Mountain?
Yeah.
You do. Don't be nervous. Come. Yeah. All right. So tell us your name. Tell us your story.
I'm Vitumelo, but I go by Tumi and
Vitumelo.
Yeah, Vitumelo, yeah.
And you work at Tourvest?
Yes, at Tourvest.
Okay, what do you do there? What do you do?
I'm on a learnership.
Oh, learnership. Okay.
We're quite new.
So you're lucky you got this on your learnership.
Yeah.
First trip ever.
Yeah, first trip ever. First time on a plane.
Exciting?
First time.
First time on the show. It's all
first
happening.
time on the show. It's a bit, I don't know.
Don't be nervous. Don't be
I'm
nervous. I promise you. Don't be nervous. First of all, what do you think of Cape Town?
So far Cape Town is nice. Yeah.
She
But
sounds
you know,
so
like
nervous.
no, not nervous, but like I still can't believe that I'm here. It was so quick. Like, guys, 1 hour, 30 minutes just to come here. So it doesn't feel like I'm actually.
If you drove here, it would take
would-
you 16 hours.
Yeah,
16
remember
hours.
when we took a bus?
Yeah.
guys.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the bus is fine because now I feel like I'm actually, the wait. Now it's like quick. Yeah,
So you almost feel like you cheated.
I kind of cheated the system. You need to like feel it.
Welcome to luxury, okay? We
Yeah.
don't samurai struggle.
This is how people try. So, all right, what do you think of the hotel? Have you had some breakfast yet? Huh?
The hotel is nice. When we came here, we were actually preparing just to like share. Everyone was like, I'm gonna sleep with this one, I'm gonna sleep with.
But you have your own room.
Yeah, everyone has their own room. We didn't expect that. And
Luxury.
yeah, I share me. As in, you just had to like jump on the
Are
bed.
those pillows on the bed just
Oh, guys, yo.
tough to wake up this
I was
morning?
like, the shower, boy, what am I doing? What do I feel like doing today?
Exactly. And you
So,
had the
yeah.
choice, shower or bath.
Yeah,
Which one did you go
I
with?
took the fourth.
And did you lie there like you were in a music video?
I just chilled, put on some music, relax,
Look
like
at you. Come on
That's
now.
awesome. I love it.
enjoying life. Yeah,
I think that's amazing. Okay, so tell us quickly, because this is your first trip.
Mhm.
What were the things that you were most excited about? How do you think it's all unfolding? What are you looking forward to doing today?
I'm looking forward for the cruise with
Yes.
Wild Horizons, and then the thing that had me nervous most of the time was like the whole 2 weeks, 3 weeks ever since
I
we found
know.
it was the plane.
So I think it was
Like guys,
I
the
think
plane.
I think it was Zonke who, when we landed, she's like,
Sure.
"What's the next trip?" We're like, "We haven't even started this one yet." But yeah,
We were like short left, guys.
so
After the third cloud, can we get over? Like,
I love this. Eleanor says, "You're so sweet. You sound and look amazing." I'm very happy.
Thank you.
Well, hopefully this isn't your last trip, but I mean, it's a nice thing on a learnership to come to Cape Town. No?
Yeah, it's quite a big thing. Like, hey, Tracy, my girl, please.
Well, I mean,
it
you get
was
to,
quite nice.
and the other people who are on the trip with us. Are you enjoying their company? Having fun?
Yeah, everyone is having fun. We're getting to know each other. Looking after one another.
Supper last night, good,
Yo, I was so shocked at the portions.
big.
It was quite big.
It's a
Yeah,
lot.
like and then what we ordered was actually a little bit. It was the smaller version.
And it was huge.
But
She's like, yeah.
guys, like you see now you want to eat just to finish.
That's nice. That is very good.
It was too much. Yeah, it was nice. It was really good.
All right, well, you go and enjoy yourself. Go and have some breakfast. You did very well. You didn't have to be nervous.
Thank you.
Well done.
Bye-bye.
All right, thanks, Boitumelo.
Sunbona
Very
guys.
good.
Yes.
Very, very good. See, this is exciting.
Yes.
And for people who've never done anything like this, it's quite cool.
This is like very cool. Because I remember the first time I came to Cape Town, I came on my own. right?
Your sister gave it to you as a present.
Yes, so it was
Okay.
a birthday gift. She paid for my tickets. Come back.
Okay, it's fine. You can have your seat back.
Yes. So what?
Producer James, say hi, James. Everybody's looking.
James.
There you go.
Hi, James.
Oh, there's James.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
she
very
paid
good.
for my tickets, and then I didn't have to worry about accommodation because some of my mates were studying
Nice.
at UCT, so I just slept at their place. So yeah, I got on the plane on my own, and then like made my way to Cape Town, and then like called my friends and like I'm at the airport, I don't know what to do, and then they like fetched me, and then we had a time of our life.
So, are there things that you really want to do on this trip? Because we're only here for today, and then we're coming back tomorrow.
That
To Durban.
cruise, you see, that I'm ready. That
But you're not nervous about you've been in boats before or not?
I have, but I haven't done this. So it's like this is the first time I'm doing this
You
particular
don't
kind
have
of
to be nervous.
So I'm excited. I'm like, the weather shall not win today. It shall
The
not.
more it does this, the more I like it.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I love it.
But I know I'm gonna laugh at everybody else.
No, you will.
You know when they hold on the thing because
I know. Watch. Absolutely. So Raven wants to know, is James from Pretoria with that accent? No, he's not from Pretoria. He's from Four Ways.
Yeah.
Four Ways butt.
Oh,
He's a
my
Four Ways
gosh.
butt.
Uh,
I hope you got James tickets in peasant class. Pack him with the luggage, says Slippery Pickle. No. We actually put him in the cargo hold. Yeah. Don't worry about that. Hypothermia, please. A lot of shit. Are we going to go? You will see Robin Island later on. Bitcoin But asks the question. But yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool that we also, in doing these things, encourage everybody else. You know, not everybody can win a trip and not everybody can travel, but it's easy to explore this country. And you don't have to wait for someone to give you a free trip or for you to have to save up for months and months. Like there are things you can do that don't have to cost an arm and a leg.
yes.
You know, there's some of the things that you can do close to where you live, a couple of minutes drive, and experience something different. People go to the same place all the time and they go to the same thing, do the same things.
Yeah.
And it's just, it doesn't really improve after that.
Stop going to your local pub. Try another one.
Yeah, and wasting your money on puzza every weekend that costs you a fortune. I am going to do the no drinking thing again, I've decided. Now in winter, because winter's a good time to do that.
Okay,
No, I'm telling you, just for
shout out to you.
another 2.5 months. Let's just see. So I'm going to start that.
Shout out
I'll
to
probably
you.
tomorrow's a new month. Why not start now? Right?
Shout out to you, girl.
I can still do today, but then tomorrow I'm done.
I like
I'm going to try it. What the hell?
that.
It's just again to prove to myself that I can just pick it up and drop it when I want to.
No, that's good.
It's a little thing. All right. So a couple of people still talking about the elections. There's a whole lot of that going on, and we will be giving you updates. Just one more before the end of the show today.
Mm-hmm.
And Simphiwe has also got some plans for the weekend. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm going to be in Cape Town. Thank you.
No. What are you doing in Cape Town? You're going on the cruise, but are you going to be with us? You're going on that red bus tour?
Yes,
thing?
yes. So I've done
You
the
do that?
Joburg one, which was really informative. I enjoyed
You
that.
did the Joburg one?
Yes, I have.
good
And
for
it was
you.
really, really informative. I was like, oh, okay. I get to know Joburg a bit more and understand like the history of the buildings and love it. Recommended.
Do you know who's a big fan of Joburg's like history? Ben.
Ooh.
Ben he goes on those heritage tours
Oh, yeah?
where they go to those old houses and things, and he
Sure.
knows all that stuff. Very damaged.
So I'm looking forward to the Cape Town one because I'm like, okay, when I was here as a student, didn't do that. Did a lot of partying.
Yeah.
Did a lot of partying
with you.
in Cape Town. So that is what I'm looking forward to. But also, can I tell you what I'm gonna do? In like a week's time, which I've never done.
Go on.
It's gonna be my friend's birthday, and she's invited us to do like some cake decor. So we're gonna learn how to like
you're gonna be a
decorate.
cake boss.
Yes, and decorate a cake. So
Have you seen? We've discussed it on the show before. Those guys who do those super realistic, like they'll make it look like it's a rugby ball or something, but it's actually a cake.
yeah, there's even videos online where they're like real or cake.
Yeah,
And then
people
you have like
guess.
2 seconds to guess, and then they'll either cut and you're like, oh, cake or real.
Yeah, and they'll make you. There was a big drama last night, by the way. You know, Simphiwe has a brand new iPhone, and luckily she has a screen protector on it.
Oh, guys.
Because last night I just heard something drop, and I was like, oh Jesus.
It fell, but
Because
thank God.
I know how attached you are to your phone, but you have the screen protector on.
I have a cover. So fun fact, I got all of this a week ago.
Mm.
I got my cover a week ago. I got my screen protector a week ago. And thank God.
Eleanor says, Simphiwe, please plug me with the Joburg tour bus name. I am from Durban and I want to do it.
The red bus.
Red
buses are good. Just go onto the website, Red Bus City Tours, and then pick Joburg.
So, Eleanor, they do these all over the world. I did one in Barcelona when I was there. That was amazing because you get to see the most things in the shortest space of time.
Yes.
And they take you to all the major places. Like if you're in London for the first time, it's probably a good idea to do. It sounds cheesy. And a lot of people will go, oh, no, it sounds too commercial and cheesy. But honestly, if you need to, it also helps you orientate yourself so you know where things are. And then when you are on foot, you can find them a lot more easily.
Yes.
So it's never a bad idea to do that.
Yes.
All right. It's a very touristy show this morning.
I know, right? Can't wait to do this again.
I remember when Gareth used to look down on those of us who don't drink, how the mighty have fallen. F you. I'm not joining your tribe. I still prefer the drinkers. That's not going to change.
They still are bad.
I'll tell you what the hardest thing is, and we've discussed this as well, but it's how boring drunk people are when you're sober. And they tell the same story for the fourth time, and you have to pretend you care. And if you're drunk, you don't mind. You go,
because they forget as well. Like they have forgotten that like 3 minutes ago they just said to you, "Hey Gareth, how you doing? How you doing, bruh? Having a good night?" And you're like, "I'm
drunk
great.
I'm sorry, they're the worst."
Great. Yeah, the issue is it's either you all have to be drunk so that you guys are all like, "I'm amazing, bruv," and you're all laughing, or everyone's sober and you're all like, "Okay, we're having a good night." You can't have drunk and sober because it's gonna be a long night for the sober people. It's just
So politics, just to wrap things up on the last show this week and the last show of May before we head into a brand new week and a brand new government by the looks of things. Julius Selomalema says on Twitter, we extend our deepest appreciation to you, the people of South Africa, for your continued support of the EFF. A special thank you to the dedicated ground forces, commissars, party agents, and all volunteers of our revolutionary movement. He said, thank you very much. Siyabonga mzansi.
all right.
Rilibucha kudu. A luta continua. Hasta la victoria.
Okay. All right. Sharp.
Yo, he's going for all of it.
Okay.
And then there's a picture of Julia sitting with Gedlehlegis, and it says, we are just getting started.
Hey, is this their hostile takeover? Hey.
We will see. There are a couple of others. I see Raman, who's often on the show, says, silver lining is that South Africa has violently rejected globalism. That's interesting. And Davy Scott says, by the way, I had not mentioned it previously. He's, of course, our election nerd who we love to talk to. It looks like total turnout is going to settle around 57 to 58%, and it was 66 in 2019. That's interesting. So
even though we had the highest number of registered voters this year.
He said we can now settle the long queue election day chaos debate. It wasn't a high turnout. So there we go. All right, everybody. I hope you have an awesome weekend because I am not going to let election results spoil anything about my weekend. Neither is Simphiwe. And we will catch up with you next week, Monday, 6 a.m., bright and early. Let us know what you're up to and like and subscribe and all of that stuff so that we can keep you up to date. Follow us on the socials for all the things that we'll get up to with the first-time travelers this weekend. And be good. If you're not, take photos. We'll see you on Monday at 6. Yeah.